that's a big key for the Scots last year. 5-19, just not their year last year. They didn't experience a lot of winning, so hopefully with Mike Fitzpatrick taking the reins here with the coaching staff, these players, new transfers coming in, hopefully we can get some winning culture into these Alma Scots.
And that being said, it was 5-19 last year. It was a very much a good climb to 5-19. That team that was playing those last 2-3 weeks of the season would have clobbered the Scots from the early season. This team made enormous progress and lost a couple of close games, so that record could have been even a little bit better towards the end. But I think that they already had that to build on. Obviously, some of that gets, the apple cart gets upset a little bit by the personnel changes and some new folks coming in that weren't around for that progress. But it was fun to watch that team last year. They really did struggle in the early going to find their footing as things went along. You mentioned the term winning culture, and let's take that and jump over to the Grace Christian side of things. Grace Christian is a school that folks may not have heard a lot about because they play in a different system. They play in the National Christian College Athletic Association, the NCCAA, and boy, have they been successful there. 8 national titles, went to the regional finals last year where they lost 76-70 to Campbellsville-Harrisburg. But former coach Gary Bailey, who spent 18 years in the NCCAA Hall of Fame, left after the end of the season, so they bring in Ryan Crombie, nice long-time assistant, 8 years as the junior varsity coach, so continuity in that program. But Grace Christian knows how to win basketball games. They come in 4-4 playing sort of a mixed schedule of Christian colleges, but also they've played folks like Calvin. So it's a little hard to know what you're going to get, but 4-4, 2 of those losses are to a Calvin team that is decimating non-conference opposition, and Lake Superior State, a Division II school that Alma has also played in an exhibition this year.
That's true. They also lost to Lake Superior State, so a couple things in common coming into this one. It'll be a great matchup, I think, for both teams. They're very evenly matched. They have a transfer, Jalen Rawls, the junior, their leading scorer, averaging 16 a game coming into this one, so it'll be interesting to see how he plays with the Grace Christian offense. And I think it's just going to be a great game to watch.
It's very difficult for me to get a feel on paper for how this is going to play out, just because of the diversity of what Grace Christian has played in their schedule. They've gone over the 100-point mark a couple of times. They won 112-75 against Appalachian Bible College, 110-70 against Barclay. Then Lake State took it to them, scored 102. Although Grace Christian was within 9 in that game in the second half, and just for comparison, Lake State beat Alma 86-61 back in sort of a preseason exhibition almost for that one. But you also look, and Grace Christian's got some nice wins along the way where we talked about the 2 high-scoring ones, but also a game against boys where they came from 21 down in the second half, went on a 37-10 run, actually took the lead in that game, blew that lead, went to overtime, and look, winning a game in overtime in that particular situation where you've rallied back, let a lead get away, to buckle down and win that game in overtime, that shows some intestinal fortitude from this crew. They're going to have a similar situation to Alma. You mentioned that Rawls is a transfer. There are a number of transfers on this Grace Christian team. A lot of community college folks and that who have come together into this unit. So they too will experience that level of growth through the season. Obviously, they are 8 games in, the Scots 5 games in. But that'll be one of the questions tonight. Who gels first? Who is really able to play as a team and make things happen?
Most definitely, and seeing some consistent offense on both sides for Grace Christian and for Alma is going to be key for these teams to pull out a win.
Grace Christian putting up 86 points per game, but allowing 89. Alma comes in averaging just under 71 a game, allowing about 80. The field goal percentage is an interesting one, though. Grace Christian shooting 47% from the floor, Alma only 39%. But again, Grace Christian allowing almost 50% shooting. And remember, they've played opponents like Calvin and Lake State. Sometimes schools like that have really big guys that just sit under the basket and make puppies all night on you. Will be interesting to see who can defend in this game as much as anything else. A nice crowd here at Art Smith Arena tonight. They are on their field to play the national anthem. We'll be back for basketball right after this. College, the national anthem in the books. Topher Goggin, Kyler Warren with you live on Q104.9 and via almascots.com. Alma against Grace Christian in a non-conference tilt here on a Wednesday night. As we mentioned, junior varsity basketball earlier tonight, Alma getting a victory 90-83 in that one. And Alma's JV's in action again tomorrow. Kyler, you're going to call that one with Dave Apple, I understand.
I am going to call that one. I believe I will be doing play-by-play for that one. So that'll be some more experience under my belt.
That'll be a video stream if people want to check that out. Starting lineups here tonight, first for the Scots. Familiar to anybody who's been following Alma this year, Landon Moore Pierce, the junior guard out of Flushing, gets the nod. Tyshawn Walker averaging 16 points a game out of Landover, Maryland. That's the DC area. Nate Diamond out of Jenison comes in as a starter once again now as a senior. And then Connor Riley leading the Scots in scoring at just under 18 a game. And Colton Meister, Kyler told you, doing some great work down in the paint. Scots would love to see that scoring pick up even beyond the 6 points per game that he is scoring. Meanwhile, for the Tigers of Grace Christian, they'll go with J.E. Rawls, 6'1" junior with a season high of 26 in the game against Boys. Ty Peel out of Rockford, 6'5" junior. He's scored 26. Parker New out of Traverse City West. Helen Bridgeforth, the second leading scorer overall on the season for the Tigers. And Clayson, the 6'2" sophomore, also out of Jenison. So we got a couple of folks from the Jenison Wildcats on the floor, one on each side tonight. Just about ready to tip things off. They've got a variety of basketballs floating around out on the head straightened out, and we will be ready to go. It will be Meister to jump it up for the Scots against New. Grace Christian with 4 different players this year who have gone over the 20-point mark in the game, and 17 different players who have scored at some point along the way. They haven't even brought that many players with them tonight, but a lot of depth for the Tigers. Meister wins the tap for Alma, and we are underway. Ball knocked into the backcourt. Moore Pierce will bring it up over to Meister. Now Diamond on the left wing. Diamond control up top. Going to take a deep 3 from long. Comes up short off the front of the rim. Walker over the top. Grabs the rebound. Keeps the play alive. Gets handcuffed by a high bounce. No travel on that call. Keeps the play going. Now directing some traffic up top. It's a Diamond at the elbow. Back deep. Walker a long 3-point try, and that is good. And Tyshawn Walker gives the Scots an early 3-0 lead.
There's Tyshawn Walker getting it done, grabbing the offensive rebound and knocking down a long 3 to get the score.
At the elbow, back deep. Walker a long 3-point try, and that is new development this year under Coach Fitzpatrick. As Christian brings it up into the front court. Fields from the top of the key, drives down the right side of the lane, stops there. Thought about a fadeaway, drops it off to New instead. Inside, blocked from behind by Meister, out of bounds.
As we talked about earlier, there's Meister on the defensive end, starting to work early.
Not a ton of height from either of these teams. Meister at 6'7", the tallest player on the floor right now. Baseline inbound, 3-0 Scots here in the early going. Top placing, going to the right side, Bridgeforth. First time we called his name as he dribbles just inside the 3-point line, spins and bounces it down low to New. Across the lane, lefty jump hook, rolling around on the rim, won't go. Rebound tipped around and snared by Moore Pierce. Moore Pierce quickly ahead, a little no-look pass, nearly takes the head off of Walker, who then fires a 3 in the corner. That's no good. Rebound grabbed by Field. Still 3-0 Alma, just over a minute and a half into this one. Placing over to the right to Rawls. Rawls will go off the dribble, pull up from the corner, short, just long rather on a 3. It bounces back out to Moore Pierce. And the Scots look to push the tempo. Moore Pierce on a 3, drives in, has his pocket picked by Field. It's a 3-on-2 the other way if Grace Christian wants to hurry. Field down the lane. Oh, looks like he traveled with it. We're going to say that ball briefly knocked loose in the bucket, up and good.
I think that was tipped by Riley down under. Great composure, laying it back in.
3-2 as Grace Christian gets on the board. Meister holds the ball up top, drops it off to Diamond. And now a whistle and a quick Scots. here. Sorry about the technical issues. The mixer decided that it didn't like us too much. Tyshawn Walker for the Scots, who lead 3-2 early out of a quick 30-second timeout. Go down onto the low block to Meister, back out to Walker. Walker drives to the left hand, deep in the shot clock, tosses it up high off the window and good.
Meister's presence down low got Walker some open space to drive and get that easy too.
Walker with all 5 Scots points here early, 5-2, 17-22 to play in the first half. French fourth for Grace Christian, swings it over to the top of the key, picks up his dribble there, Diamond right on top of him, finally drops it off to Rawls. Scott's bench, which is very deep, loud here with the shot clock at 3. Rawls triggers from the top of the key and connects to tie the game up.
Tough shot from Rawls, making it look easy.
Big hit there deep in the shot clock to knock things up at 5. Now Pierce, the Scots assist leader, starts to play off, now gets it back over in front of the Grace Christian bench. Over feed inside to Diamond, spinning along the block. Back out to Walker, who dribbles in, leaves it back out for Diamond. Another 3-point look, that one in and out, no good. Rebound down low and put back up and in. The first time we've called Riley's name tonight, but he's right there on the doorstep with the putback, and the Scots retake the lead.
A great box out from Connor Riley, securing that rebound and just laying it back up and in with the left hand.
Nice work by Grace Christian to break the press. And they'll bring it up. First fourth down the lane, spinning, kicks it back out. 3-point look for Neal on the right wing, and that is good over the top of Meister. And Grace Christian takes its first lead at 8-7.
Look at the big guy knocking down a 3.
Shooting almost 31% out there on the year. Diamond to Moore, Pierce. Little pump fake, dribbles underneath his field, then has his pocket picked from behind, but the loose ball comes to Meister along the baseline through his own double team, blocked away underneath, and rebounded by New.
A little bit of a forced shot there from Meister.
Long outlet to Thiel along the baseline. Nice spin move to get around Diamond and lay it up and in.
Veteran move there on the baseline.
Grace Christian by 3 at 10-7, their biggest lead so far. Early going here. Diamond looks to knot it up with a 3-point try. That's no good. Rebound secured by New, then punched loose by Diamond. Little give and go between Moore, Pierce, and Diamond lays it in.
What a pass from Moore Pierce, setting that up.
Scott's back within 1 as they prepare to sub at the next whistle. Thiel down for Grace Christian. Nice one-on-one take over the top there of Meister.
That's too easy. A fast break off of made basket. Scott's got to get back on defense. There's a good look.
Riley for 3 right in front of the Grace Christian bench, and we're right back tied as the points are flowing in both directions here. 5 for Riley. Just over 5 minutes into this one as Grace Christian breaks the press.
Both offensive getting going early. As you mentioned, a lot of points being scored.
Little inside out action for Grace Christian, out to Clayson, drives to the free throw line, jumper up and good. And now 14-12 as the teams continue to fill it up. Walker for Alma. Foul line entry, then kick back out to Moore Pierce from Riley, and Moore Pierce connects from long range.
Another 3. They are dropping early.
Alma back on top, 15-14. Both teams shooting above 50% clips as Riley knocks it out of bounds at the elbow, back deep. Walker along, 3-point try, and that for the Scots. Aiden Judson checks in along with Peyton Bush. Bush has been excellent on the glass for Alma here in the early part of this season, sharing the rebounding lead along with Riley. Long home run ball pass up over the top, too far, saved by New, but right into the hands of Bush, who will run back the other way but does not have numbers. Hold it up, fire it over to Gabe Bordeaux, who also checked in. His 3-point try in and out won't go. And a rebound pulled down by Thiel.
One thing I've noticed early from both sides, just the energy, the pressure, everything is up. They're going at it early.
No look entry, stripped away by Bordeaux from Thiel. A lot of contact down there. They let him play on, and the Scots come out of the corner with it. Back 4 on 3. Bordeaux trailing the play. Riley all the way in, draws a foul in the lane. Called down there against Parker New.
A lot of bodies hit the floor on the other end. Connor Riley taking advantage on the other end. He'll get 2 free throws.
And that's a big part, Kyler, of why this game has felt like it's flowed very quickly. This is our first foul shot, 6 minutes and 19 seconds into the game, as Riley heads to the line with 5 so far. 15-14 Alma, 13:41 to play in the first half. First free throw just long, clanks away. Riley on the season at the line, 76%. He's cracked the 20-point mark in 3 out of 5 games. Second try up, this one short. And Riley comes up empty-handed on both. Scots continue to lead by 1.
Rare 2 misses there from the line.
Rawls out of Mount Morris, brings it up for the Tigers, leaves it for Bridgeforth, now over to Clayson. Teal with Riley right in his face, drops it inside, driving, try from Rawls up over the top, and a nice bucket.
Great backdoor cut there, setting it up, and a great find on the pass.
Grace Christian back on top by 1, 16-15. Bush leaves it to Riley. Little jab fake of a 3, back to Moore Pierce. And he'll take the deep 3, contested with a hand in his face, and buries it.
Heat check.
Landon Moore Pierce, 6 tonight, averaged just over 7 all last season. Full court pressure again. Grace Christian with a little trouble at the half court, and what happened there, that catch was made one-footed in the front court, and then Bridgeforth stepped back into the back court. That's enough to establish him in the front court and lead to an over and back call. So the Scots get this on the backcourt violation.
And the added pressure from the full court press really caused that backcourt violation.
Scots on the season forcing 15 turnovers a game with this pressure. They've got the ball back and an 18-16 lead approaching the midpoint of the first half. Peyton Bush off the dribble through the free throw circle over onto the right side. Judson for 3, just short on that. Rebound comes out, and Scott's going to get called with Bush hacking over the back there. Little overly exuberant on that rebounding try. Walker back in for Alma. We'll also see
Chris Young.
Yeah, Chris Young in there. Very deep roster for the Scots, who already fielded a full crew for the junior varsity game earlier. Meanwhile, we see Zach York out of Millington into the game for Grace Christian. He'll have to work on breaking this press, which they do with a pass ahead to Bridgeforth. Now over Thiel, 3-point look, short off the front of the rim. Bush the rebound. Scots will run the other direction. Young all the way, pumps the pass across, tries to lay it up, blocked away by Rawls, but on the follow, it's Judson. Scots by 4, 20-16. They apply the press again. Tigers break through it, but then Bush trailing catches up and steals it away. 2-on-2 the other direction. Walker a little off balance down the lane, partially blocked by Bridgeforth. Nice defensive recovery there, and a rebound by Gavin Fisher, who is also into the game for Grace Christian.
Yeah, that shot just a little bit forced by Walker. Didn't quite have the numbers, as there's a foul down here.
York with a no-look feed to Rawls, who turned and his shoulder actually caught the chin of Bush. Or actually, maybe Judson. It's Judson with the call. As Rawls heads to the line.
It's like Judson took a shot to the jaw there on that play.
Yeah. Right action, wrong name that I had, but Judson just had his chin in the wrong place. Rawls from the stripe, leading scorer for Grace Christian on the season, misses on that one. Only joined up with Grace Christian in August, a bit of a late signee, transfer from Mott Community College. Led Mott to 5th in the national tournament last year. Scored 15 against Youngstown State, and what these Grace Christian guys said was just memories of a lifetime to play a D1 school on ESPN+. 0 for 2 at the line, though, for Rawls. Alma maintains the 4-point lead at 20-16. 11:46 to play in the first half. Gabe Bordeaux for the Scots. Over to Tyshawn Walker. Drives in, up and under, oop-de-doo, no good, and the rebound by Bush and a bump underneath there. And Grace Christian going to pick up this call, I do believe.
Peyton Bush being aggressive on the inside, really picking up that defensive rebound. Not a lot of height down there for the point guard, but he uses his height effectively.
York called for the foul for Grace Christian. Neither team in any foul trouble whatsoever, just 2 fouls apiece. Here approaching the midpoint of the first half as Xavier Glenn checks in and a travel on Walker. And the Scots turn it over. The Scots have taken pretty good care of the ball this year, just under 14 turnovers a game. That's down from 16.5 per game last year. Quick outlet for Grace Christian as they come ahead. They'll feed it back out. Fisher for three, in and out. And the rebound knocked away, but secured by Bordeaux for Alma, who looks like maybe he got poked in the eye. Maybe just knocking some sweat off his face, trying to dry that off with the jersey as the Scots break out with a 4-point lead. Bordeaux hands it off to Walker. Goes up top to Bush, crosses to his left, pulls up from the elbow. Jumper just long, rebound off the right side of the rim, wrestled out of bounds. And they're going to say last touch by Grace Christian. Boy, that looked to me like Glenn had the last touch on it. But Alma gets this one back.
I think he got it from behind, tipped it out of bounds.
Clock stops with 11:06 to go in the half. Bush rifles a pass into Walker. Steps with the right foot, pulls back. 3-point try, no good. Hit a deep one earlier. York gets that rebound and sidearms a pass to get it out. Up quickly to Fisher. Looks underneath, can't find anything there. Leaves it back for Rawls. And now a whistle away from the action. Well, not away from the action, just away from the basket. Bush called for a reach-in, and that'll be his second. And the Boo Birds come raining down from the Scott students.
Boy, it is packed here in Art Smith Arena.
This side of the gym has really filled in.
It really has.
For a November game, not bad. Melvin Frazier out of Wyoming, Michigan, which is where Grace Christian is located, has come in. He pushes a pass out, and a 3-point look good from Gavin Fisher, his first bucket of the game. And once again, Grace Christian within one at 20-19.
So if I mentioned earlier, the offenses on both sides have really come alive. Great shooting on both sides. And there's another three.
There's another one, a triple for Alma as Young connects. And just like that, back to a 4-point Alma lead. But you're right, shooting numbers excellent. Here comes another opportunity as Teal breaks it and then misses the shortest shot of the night. After getting away defensively, misses the layup. The rebound tipped away out of bounds back to the Tigers.
Glenn going for that steal. Ended up coming up short, but Tyshawn Walker there with the defensive presence causing that miss.
Alma brings Diamond back in along with Casey Constant. Constant, one of the few faces on this Alma team. The last time these teams met, an 83-75 Grace Christian win back in the fall of 2019. Inside, Frazier leans, and a little too much spinning called for the travel. He can't believe it, thought he got fouled, but Alma comes away with this one.
I think there may have been a foul, but that came after the travel.
Young along the baseline. Little token pressure from Frazier. Not going to slow Landon Moore-Pierce down at all. And drop it off to Glenn, back to Moore-Pierce. And a little give and go, swung across to Young. Shields himself with the off arm and a foul on York, and that'll be Zach York's second.
I think he got him with the forearm there, just enough for the refs to make that call.
Couple of close calls off the dribble here in the last 2 minutes or so.
But again, there haven't been a lot of fouls early.
Total of 6 here in the first 10 minutes. Moore-Pierce inside, little ball fake. Then
Great
leans.
move.
Nice move indeed.
Great move from Moore-Pierce. Using his athleticism to get that bucket.
8 for Moore-Pierce, which leads all scorers. Alma's lead its biggest of the night at 25-19. Back for Grace Christian. Down low, Frazier caught the Scots napping a little bit defensively after the press break. And right back within 4 come the Tigers.
That's the second time the Tigers have gotten an easy basket off of a made basket on the other end from the Scots, so they got to really pick it up on defense.
Xavier Glenn for Alma hands it off to Moore-Pierce,
Wow.
who continues to feel it, give him 11.
Wow.
Moore-Pierce's season high is 13, career high 18 against Kalamazoo last year, and the Scots' pressure causing a little bit of havoc in the backcourt. Now Grace Christian breaks through it. Fisher to York, who plays on with the 2 fouls. Off to Bridgeforth, deep 3-point look, contested, no good. Rebound tipped up, grabbed by York. One dribble, tries to kick
Great
it out.
Defense.
And Diamond with the interception.
Active hands from Diamond.
Scots bring it back 4-on-3. Now a look back at the bench where Mike Fitzpatrick calls things out. Diamond swings it over to an open Constant pass, just a little high. Casey puts it on the floor, instead drives in too strong on the layup. Fisher the rebound for Grace Christian. Long outlet, tipped by Diamond, gets through to York, kicks it over to Rawls. 3-point try, got it. Nice work. Both these teams move the ball very quickly up and down the floor.
They haven't. You mentioned in the pregame the 3-point shooting. It has not seemed like it is lackluster tonight,
no.
I tell you.
But obviously Grace Christian has shot it well from outside most of the year. But Alma has picked up its pace as well. That triple brought Grace Christian back within 4. 3-point look from Young. This one off to the right. And Bridgeforth, the rebound. Grace Christian brings it back. It's to Fisher. He wants a look. That one clanks away hard off to the right. And Moore Pierce grabs the rebound. Third rebound of the game for Landon Moore Pierce to go with his 11 points. How about this one from deep? This one, no! Wow! Short from Moore Pierce. The friendly roll off the front of the iron and in. 14 in the first half.
Talk about it all going right here in the first half for Moore Pierce. Shooter's touch.
Frazier drives in. The Scots tried to poke it away from behind. It ends up in Fisher's hands along the baseline, and he is fouled. This is going to be Diamond picking up the call. His first.
Fans here in Alma are letting the refs hear every call they make there. There's a reaction here.
Back to a 7-point Alma lead off the Moore Pierce triple, 31-24, 7:41 to play first half. First foul shot up and good from Fisher. He's got 4 on the night. Rawls leads the way for the Tigers with 8. Thiel with 6.
Fisher just 3 free throw attempts this year, and he's made all of them. That was his 3rd attempt there. So this is his 4th coming up.
And that one will not go. Rebounded by Riley, who has returned for the Scots. A long outlet. Moore Pierce underneath the bucket. And how about adding a dunk to the list? 16 for Landon Moore Pierce. And Alma leads 33-25.
Moore Pierce with the right-handed hammer. Throw it down.
Lob ahead. Bridgeforth, nice move through the lane, but then comes up short. Gets his own rebound. What happened here? A lot of minutes. Yep, got the baseline. Yep. You are exactly right. Scots stay with it, and we'll have a timeout called. Grace Christian going to pause it, trailing by 8. We'll be back right after this. .7:20 to go in the first half here at Alma College, where the Scots lead Grace Christian 33-25. Topher Goggin, Kyler Warren with you. And the shooting, Kyler, 11 of 24 combined from 3 for these two teams. They are lighting it up.
Yeah, you said it, combined 45% from 3, and both teams are shooting extremely efficiently. Grace Christian 52% from the field, and Alma 48% from the field. So we're seeing a great shooting night for both teams early on.
Rebounds fairly even so far, 14-12 in Grace Christian's favor. Alma with the basketball. Moore Pierce, who has had an incredible game, 16 points already. A little bit of a high dribble, scoops it across, and then a little fade away from Meister, and that's good. Give Moore Pierce an assist on that one.
Tough shot. You can't make that unless you're 6'7".
First points of the night for Meister, a 10-point Alma advantage now. The Scots 2 and 3 coming in, but off back-to-back losses last weekend. Ball knocked out of bounds. Back to Grace Christian, but the Scots hustling out there. You see Walker sprawled out in front of the Alma players, diving almost into the bench, trying to go after that one.
Again, the intensity is just high on both sides. Both teams laying it all on the line.
We apologize for the audio issues early in the broadcast. I think we've got that all worked out. Apparently, it sounded like we were in witness protection for the first couple of minutes of the game. Walker for Alma, 3-point try comes up short. Long rebound out, grabbed by Frazier for Grace Christian, and then contact. Walker doesn't like it, but pretty easy foul call trying to get back into position there.
Yeah, just didn't get his body all the way around and kind of bumped into Frazier there. Yeah. So
Frazier will trigger the inbound. 6:37 to play first half, 35-25 Alma. Frazier steps in, leaves it back out. Parker News back in there, long off the window on the three-point try, and the rebound comes out. Scots have numbers if they hustle. Ahead, Meister, one-on-one off the rim, no good. And a good job by Fisher to retreat into the play and get that rebound, take it away from Diamond.
And great defense underneath from Parker New on that possession.
Fisher over to Frazier, baseline drive on the left side, up and in. His second bucket of the first half. And back within 8 for Grace Christian. Moore Pierce steps back 3. Wow. How about another one? 19. It's a career high for Moore Pierce, and he sets it with 5:58 to go in the first half. Walker knocks away a long inbounds pass out of bounds. Grace Christian will keep this one. But Moore Pierce having the game of his life. Look at these stats.
He's 7 for 7 from the field.
5 of 5 from 3, 4 rebounds and assists. It's a good way to cure your team's shooting woes. Have one of your guys come out and make his first 7 from the floor.
And we still have 6 minutes left here in the first half. Just an unbelievable display of scoring from Moore Pierce.
Moore Pierce's mother played hoops for CMU and his dad football at Saginaw Valley, so plenty of athleticism in that family. Down onto the low block as Cole Powell is checked in for Grace Christian, misses a little baby jump hook. Meister gets that rebound for Alma. 5:40 to play in the first half. Walker, a little stutter step, then drives quickly and finishes with the left hand.
Beautiful move. Just a quick first step and getting to the basket, finishing with the left hand.
Impressive 7 for Walker in the first half, just overshadowed by what Moore Pierce has done. Keys Omari feeds it into the corner, and a lefty 3 good from Powell, the McBain product. And it's 40-30. Scott's still up by 10. Alma with the basketball. Moore Pierce pounded by Omari. Another Maryland product. Diamond drives off the left side, bounces it in, and taken away by Powell. Did not get that one across. Good read, cutting back, sort of a backdoor defensive cut if such a thing exists. Now Walker separates the ball, but run down by Powell. There's chaos out here all of a sudden, and finally a whistle and a foul call against Alma. Moore Pierce seems to believe this is against him, and he is right.
A lot of great jerseys surrounding that ball. Defensive pressure from the Scots is looking real nice so far.
Moore Pierce going to get a breather. My guess is it will be a short one. His maximum minutes this season, 27 coming in tonight, but I would not be surprised if that gets eclipsed, at least if he continues shooting at this current pace. Cleveland Baker in for Alma. Bush returns as well. Riley, Walker, and Meister complete the 5 for first-year coach Mike Fitzpatrick. 4:48 to play in the first half. Alma leads it 40-30. Grace Christian with the basketball. J.D. Rawls wants a deep 3 over the top of Walker and connects on that one. 11 for Rawls, having a great night himself. He averages 16 a game, leading scorer on this Tigers squad. Grace Christian ranked 6th in the country in the NCCAA, the National Christian College Athletic Association. Alma cycles it around the perimeter at their end, down low, off the dribble. Riley, a beautiful finish, give him 7.
Just a great one-on-one matchup for Connor Riley.
Quickly the other way, and a rotating try knocked away by a traveling call. Almost amazing from Omari. Made kind of an awkward catch under the basket, and no place to go with it. Elected to go with the, let's see, that would be a clockwise spin. But must have needed a couple steps to get there.
Yeah, it's just a tough play to really get your footing down so you don't travel.
Well, most people who aren't like circus performers would have just fallen out of bounds. So the fact that he found a way to get the ball into the bucket was pretty darn impressive in itself. Walker for Alma, they lead by 9, 42-33. Riley wants more. Top of the key, open 3. You can't leave him there.
You can't leave any of these Scots open tonight.
45-33, Scots by 12. Pressure once again. Rawls needs a little bit of help. Goes to Omari, who gets it across the timeline with about 1 second left in the 10-second count. 3:49 to play in the half. Ty Thiel, who's back in there, gives it to Rawls. Now top of the key, Omari.
Mismatch down low with Peyton Bush.
Unable to take advantage of that as the ball went off Omari's shoe. He drives in, and then a nice little dish over to Parker New, who finishes along the right baseline. Grace Christian back within 10. 45-35, 3:22 left in the first half here at Alma College. Scots play on Saturday against CMU, a game that's an exhibition for the Scots but counts for the Chips. Steele and a transition turnover the other direction. Too fast from Grace Christian, and Rawls threw it away looking for Omari.
Riley a little shaken up on that play, and it looks like he's going to come out and Bordeaux's going to come in. Looks like the right ankle on that play just might have came out from under him.
Could be. We'll keep an eye out. Looks like he's going to stay on his feet and walk that off back into the corner for the moment. Approaching the 3-minute mark of the first half, Alma with a 45-35 lead. 3-point look. Walker will clank off the back iron, gets his own rebound, drives in, tries to throw it up. Oh, wild shot from almost behind the backboard, and it's good. Tough try as Walker ran out of room against New and found a way to knock it down. 47-35 off the make. 9 for Walker. Scots extend the defense. Walker all the way out near half court, but gets a little bit of a hip on Rawls and called for his second.
Fans aren't going to like that call. Here comes the parade of boos.
They're getting some practice tonight, aren't they?
Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah. Let's hope they brought enough water.
That's what the concession stands for.
There you go.
7th team foul on the Scots. It sends Rawls to the line for 1-1. Rawls, as we said, a decorated career at Mott Community College after going to high school in Mount Morris. 10-point per game player for Mott, but reached at least 27 in a game that I was able to find. Doesn't mean there wasn't a bigger one. First free throw good. Give him 12 here tonight. As we said, Rawls, one of 4 different players from Grace Christian to go over the 20-point mark already this season in their first 8 games. Misfires on the second free throw. Rebound grabbed by New, almost stolen by Moore Pierce, but he steps out of bounds trying to save it. We see Eli Carlson into the game for Grace Christian. Listen to this line of scoring on the year for Carlson. 0, 19, 8, 33, 3-0. A little bit of everything.
Doesn't get more consistent than that.
But another young man who can light it up. 33 against Appalachian Bible College. Field down low, stripped away by Bordeaux, and then wrestles the ball away along the baseline. And they're going to say that in the process of the wrestling match, Thiel had a foot out of bounds, and so this is Alma ball.
That is fantastic defense from Bordeaux. The use of the hands and the body coming together to get that turnover.
Bordeaux has not attempted a 2-point shot yet this year. Everything from 3. Let's see where he looks on this possession. He'll look in the logical direction, which is to pass it to Landon Moore Pierce, who's got 19 here in the first half. Moore Pierce almost gets his pocket picked, and then a foul call. Trying to
be on him.
Retreat back, yeah, exactly, defensively. The common way that you can get whistled after you've had it stolen away, you swipe at it. That is 2 on Moore Pierce, so you'll have to be careful. We'll see if Alma chooses to leave him in the final 2 minutes of this first half. Alma by 11, 47-36. Rawls back at the line for another 1-1. He split 2 just a moment ago.
Seems very quickly the Scots have gotten into the bonus. Already 8 fouls, and that feels like that came rather quickly.
Yeah, for after all we talked about, very few foul calls. The free throw no good, offensive rebound, and now Omari drives down. He gets fouled. Scots help pop him right back up, but he'll head to the line.
That'll go on Judson. It'll be a second foul.
Grace Christian out of Wyoming, Michigan, Grand Rapids area. School has moved around, actually was founded in Wisconsin as the first foul shot is good, and then moved over to Wyoming back in 1961, initially as Grace Bible College, changed to Grace Christian in 2018. Make sure I get that right. And both foul shots good for Omari. So he's got 2 tonight. Back to a single-digit game at 47-38. Final 2 minutes of the first half here from Alma College. Gabe Bordeaux looking underneath. He's an excellent passer. This one not his best choice, though, as it's punched away by Carlson.
Bush just couldn't get positioning down low, and it was fantastic defense on the inside.
Mario just made the 2 free throws, dribbling up top. Stolen away by Walker. 2-on-2 with Bush. Back the other direction. Walker in. Tries it, drifting across the lane. Gets the foul call. Almost an and one, but the shot spins out at the last possible moment.
And Tyshawn Walker did a great job right there, initiating the contact. The defender had nowhere to go. He had to make contact there and draw a foul.
And you see the defense setting that up. Walker leading the MIAA in steals. Obviously, there haven't been any MIAA conference games, but the leader amongst MIAA players. As he hits the free throw, that puts him in double digits as well with 10.
Walker, a great free throw shooter, coming in at 88% on the year.
24 of 27 prior to tonight, and now makes his second try coming up. 1:37 to play in the half. Alma up 10, 48-38. Closing in on a 50-point first half. Not going to get it here. The free throw spins away and tipped out of bounds off Bordeaux. Walker sits down as Diamond returns. Minute and 36 left in the first half. Kellen Bridgeforth, who Alma has held scoreless here in the first half, averaging 14 a game. Good defensive credit to the Scots on that one. They'll set their press up, and Rawls will bring it up in a reach around from Bordeaux, pleading his case, but not to any avail on that one. And that will send Grace Christian back to the line once again, and this time for 2. It's a double bonus situation.
Not a smart foul there from Bordeaux. He got beat on the press, but you just can't reach like that, especially when you're in the bonus already. And you get a guaranteed 2 free throws on the other end with Rawls, who's a very good free throw shooter.
13 for Rawls. You talk about players being overshadowed by Moore Pierce's 19. Nothing wrong with 13 in the first half from Rawls, halfway to his season high of 26 against Boyce, and makes the second as well. Grace Christian within 8. Coleman trying to keep its foot on the accelerator heading into the break here. They've led for a substantial part of this first half after a little back and forth in the early minutes. Landon Moore Pierce through a screen, goes to his right, then slings it back cross court. Diamond for 3 off the left wing. Got it. Nate Diamond with 5.
That brings the score back up to double digits for Alma.
51-40. They get that 50-point first half. Still a minute and 5 to play till the break. Carlson tries to dribble around Meister. Did he land on the sideline making that catch?
Yes, he did.
A really nice off-the-dribble take, but where he made the catch, had the heels on the sideline, and of course had just a few folks right behind him on the Scots bench really ready to help the officials find that one. A lot of sets of eyeballs.
They made sure they got that call right.
Casey Constant will run the point for Alma here as we approach the final minute of the half. Double teamed out high. Needs a little bit of help, but then gets it in the form of a foul call. And this is going to be against Bridgeforth, I believe, who wisely pleads his case to his coaches rather than to the officials.
Interesting call there. I didn't see much contact from Bridgeworth. I saw more from Rawls on that play, but refs obviously saw it different.
Connor Riley for the Scots back after a little bit of a lower body tweak earlier. It seems to have walked that off, drives in, draws a foul, and he'll head back to the stripe.
Ankle seems to be okay on that drive.
Yeah, if you were hurting, you probably wouldn't be choosing that move. 45 seconds to go in the first half. 3 Scots in double figures here. Moore Pierce with 19, Walker and Riley 10 apiece.
Another missed free throw.
Yeah, it's over 3 at the line. Yep. Uncharacteristic for Riley, who comes in at 76%, was 13 of 17 prior to tonight.
As you mentioned, 3 Scots in double figures. Riley with 11 now. And Rawls the only one in double figures for Grace Christian.
And that's a Grace Christian team who has 4 players averaging double figures coming into tonight.
That just shows you with the numbers how great this Alma defense has been so far, holding players to, well, not much scoring so far.
52-40 with a minute to go, a little less than a minute to go in the first half. Eli Carlson kicks it back out to Rawls, working against Bordeaux, steps to his right, fires a 3, left side of the rim, no good. Riley soars through and grabs the rebound. Riley back 4 on 3 over to the right side. Diamond a 3 to mirror the one from before, this one long. Meister gets the board. 18 on the shot clock, 22 on the game clock, and a 30-second timeout called by Gabe Bordeaux. Alma's going to draw something up. Part of that is going to involve getting Moore Pierce and Walker back into the offense. There is a 6-second differential between the shot clock and game clock, so Alma can't just play for 1. They lead by 12, 52-40 against Grace Christian, looking to even their record on the season at 3-3. Mentioned Alma on the road at CMU this Saturday. Next opponent for Grace Christian, a familiar one to Alma fans, as they will take on Trine on Saturday at 5 o'clock.
A lot of MIAA matchups for Grace Christian.
Yeah, well, geography will do that when you're looking for some non-conference clubs. As we mentioned, 8 national championships in the National Christian College Athletic Association for Grace Christian. Regional finalists last year. Last national title back in 2019 for them. School founded back in 1939 in Milwaukee. Enrollment now over 1,000 as they've added some online programs. You can get a dual degree at Davenport or Cornerstone if you want. 20 seconds left in the first half. Alma ball, 14 on the shot clock. So we'll see what the Scots have drawn up.
Now, if they time this correctly, it will be very, very tough with the full court press for Grace Christian to get a shot off.
More Pierce now with 6 on the shot. Swings it back over to Diamond. He's going to get about 24-foot three, back of the rim, no good, and a whistle underneath.
It's going to go on New.
Stay here. Yep, Parker New called for his second. And that is the 7th team foul, so that's not what Grace Christian wants, is that's going to send Meister to the line with 6 seconds left in the half. Alma will sub offense for defense, and it's almost defense for foul trouble more than anything else. Walker and Moore Pierce with 2. Don't want to leave them in there to try to defend these last 6 seconds. 2 points on the night for Colton Meister, 1 of 3 from the floor. A couple of rebounds as well. First free throw good. Makes that front end to make it 53-40. And Alma definitely shows that they intend to press off a make here. And after I say that, they retreat. Well, here come 3. A little bluff retreat. They will indeed keep the pressure on. Or maybe not. Now they back off once again, racing ahead all the way down the lane. Frazier tries too strong offensive rebound, had time, but New unable to squeeze it, a heave at the buzzer too late. Pretty good accuracy as it hits the backboard from 70 feet. 54-40 at the half. Alma with the lead. We will take a break, play some halftime announcements, and come back with the Pizza One halftime report from Alma College. Scots by 14 at the half.
like bump something. Technology. Yeah. He's shooting 100% from the field. I'll get on board with that. I think we can count this as half the wins that they had last year. Weren't many stoppages.
I almost announced it last night as the world famous pizza one.
World known.
And I was kind of fast.
I feel like
We will start doing that.
You know what he's talking about?
No, he does not.
During the high school halftime was 10 minutes.
Right.
And our halftime spot was pizza one.
Right.
And so many ads, and the halftime ads are now 9 minutes. So we get back to like 40 seconds for the halftime show. So I started calling it, it's the pizza 1 minute halftime report. And now it's world famous.
Let's have this at an event. It has to be. I didn't know they were doing something for him at halftime. If I had known that, then I would explain it.
I had looked at our screen initially and started throwing scratches, but because I took the retrace to the house mostly, because I got to put the other one on. But, and then Peyton said something about it was terrible. That's when I looked at the phone, realized I looked into that, and then I looked up and saw that stupid microphone. And it was, dang. So, every little thing coming over. Your screen sound was fine last night. It garbled a few times, but I think it was probably just my phone buffering it, or otherwise the sound on it much better than usual. Hopefully it doesn't take about 6. It was pretty cool while I was in. I got the new transmitter in, and if we powered it up, there's 6 power amps. Power amp number 5 is out. So I could only get it up to 4,000 watts instead of 6,000. But I mean, we've been running on 500 for 3 or 4 months now. The old one went out, so we've got a temporary thing. The sound is really good.
Power relative to what it is actually playing.
Right. Yeah, I want to get back to 6,000. So 10 seconds from now. 10 seconds.
54-40, the Alma Scots lead Grace Christian at the half as we welcome you into the Pizza One halftime report. Topher Goggin along with Kyler Warren live from the Art Smith Arena in a pretty exciting first half. Kyler up and down the floor, both teams shooting the lights out early on. Grace Christian trailed off a little bit towards the end, just off the extremely torrid pace. An incredible first half for Landon Moore-Pierce of the Scots, who sets a new career high with 19 points on 7 of 7 shooting from the floor. overshadowing the 4 of 4 shooting from Connor Riley, who, 4 of 4 from the floor, 11 points in the first half, and everybody kind of goes, okay. You're not the guy with 19.
Yeah, not a big deal when you got a teammate shooting 100% from the field. And, Landon Moore-Pierce is shooting 100%, but both teams are shooting over 50% from the field, and that is beyond efficient from what we've seen early on, especially from Alma, who you said they shot about 30% from the field last game. This is a huge step up for this team.
For sure, and Alma, who came in on the season shooting just 27% from three-point range after an 18% weekend. They really pick it up there, 10 of 22 in the first half. Here's another difference that I at least, and maybe you did, Kyler, I did not pick up on. A major turnover differential. 13 first half turnovers by Grace Christian, only 6 from the Scots. The 6 from the Scots is not remarkable. That's about where you want to be, but 13 is a lot for Grace Christian, and great work by the Alma defense to force that many.
The defense on Alma's end has just been unbelievable. The fouls picked up toward the end of the first half, but early on, there were not a lot of fouls, just fantastic defense, forcing a lot of turnovers, and honestly, the defense forced a lot of those turnovers. Grace Christian did not, they were not careless with the ball. It was just the defensive presence on the Scots end and the intensity. They just kept it up the whole half, and they forced all those turnovers.
Another thing that Alma coach Mike Fitzpatrick will be very pleased with, 8 first half assists. Scott's only averaging under 12 assists per game. That's a pretty low number there. And so to bump that up to 8 in the first half, if they can keep that going, he'll be really pleased with his team distributing the basketball, finding the right guys at the right time.
Most definitely. And I think early on in the season, they've been playing a lot of one-on-one, so that's why they haven't had a lot of assists. But today, they've been sharing the basketball a lot. And that's where all those assists come from. That's where all the open shots come from. And that's why they put up 54 points here in the first half. And they're up big.
A couple of other scores for you from around the MIAA. Trine at home against Anderson, leading 65-49. That, of course, is Grace Christian's next opponent coming up this weekend. Brooks Miller got his team rocking and rolling. A good tight one late in the first half between Kalamazoo and the University of Chicago. 28-27 Chicago in that one. Women's basketball final earlier, Olivet upends Kalamazoo 67-42. Don't have a score update in women's basketball between Trine and Adrian or St. Mary's Albion, along with a Hope Calvin game. So the rivalry on the women's side in action tonight, starting at 7:30. They are not updating the live stats on the MIAA website, but we'll see if we can find out what's going on in that one, because that is always of interest. Of course, Hope so strong in women's basketball, coming off dual MIAA appearances in the Final Four last year, with both Hope and Trine making it. Final 10 seconds of the halftime break here. Grace Christian will send its starting 5 back out there. Interesting, Ethan Clayson started the game. Once he subbed out, we didn't really see him again. Both these teams going fairly deep onto their benches. And we talked about the depth of Grace Christian with 4 scorers that have crossed the 20-point mark so far this season, and 17 who have scored points. Alma plenty deep as well. 15 different Scots have scored at least once so far this season. Alma will come out with more Pierce, Walker, Meister, Riley, and Diamond. And we'll get underway with the Scots up by 14. Grace Christian ball moving right to left from our perspective here, opposite the players' benches.
Very eager to see how Grace Christian adapts in the second half. Obviously down double digits here early on, but let's see what adjustments they can make. There's another turnover.
Early whistle and an offensive foul called against Parker New. First-year coaching staff, sort of, with Ryan Crombeen, his first year at the helm. But as we said, he has been the junior varsity coach from 2015 on. Takes over for the legend Gary Bailey, 18 seasons and an NCCAA Hall of Famer. Alma basketball for the first time in the second half. Walker a deep three-point look to try to add to the 14-point lead. No good. Field comes flying through and grabs the rebound for Grace Christian. Rebounds fairly evenly distributed in the first half between the teams. Field going to try to go coast to coast, spins in against Riley, and has it swatted away. Connor Riley out of Montebello.
I've got numbers.
That one quickly to Moore. Pierce is at 8.
Oh my goodness.
22 on 8 for 8 shooting for Landon Moore. Pierce, Alma by 17.
Nothing's changed since the first half.
Sometimes hard to keep that going after
my.
sitting down for 15 minutes, but apparently not for the young man from Flushing. Fisher drives in, spins underneath Meister. Riley almost comes by and just picks off the ball walking by. A nice dish on the scoop to a cutting Rawls who lays it in. He's got 16 himself.
That's another fantastic cut. We saw that early on. So that pass tipped out of bounds. But we saw early on Rawls making fantastic cuts, getting his teammates out of trouble. That was a double team there and a quality cut, and he gets an open look.
Rawls punched that away as Grace Christian went with a little full court pressure. Little frustration from Riley signaling to his teammates to say, hey, come back here and help. Let me get the ball inbounded. Went out to the Scots, though, so play just goes on. Meister for Alma, the big man, takes it off the dribble and draws a foul on the drive, working in against Thiel.
I really like that. Meister being aggressive off the dribble. That'll be, if he can incorporate that into his game off the dribble, that'll just open up a lot of opportunities for the Scots on offense.
Thiel's first, 57-42 to Alma. Led by 14 at the half, now 15, now 17 as Meister lays it in off the inbounds feed.
Meister getting involved on the offensive end earlier in the second half. He had a couple points there in the first quarter, or the first half, I mean. Whoa.
Now, and Rawls tries to go for the one-handed window. Has that blocked away, and Meister now blocks another. Rebounded by Walker, long outlet, tipped away. Diamond has to run it down in the corner. Good effort by Bridgeforth. Now more Pearson passes it across Meister. One dribble, tries and fouled. Wild athleticism at both ends for these teams. Colton Meister getting a little friendly shove after back-to-back shot blocks.
Unbelievable athleticism on that rejection. Rawls went up to stuff him inside the rim. Not on Meister's watch.
Yeah, Rawls was thinking poster on that one.
100%.
Was Rawls called for the foul, his first. Do have an update from that women's basketball game. Hope leads Calvin 42-34 in the third quarter. Both teams out to 5-0 starts on the women's side. We've got much of Sammy Stormont's Alma women here tonight in the front row watching. Also, the football team is here. That's where all these people came from. Great turnout from Coach Jason Couch's football squad as Meister knocks the free throws down to make it 61-42.
Like Glenn checking back into the game for Meister after he made those two free throws. Great press break.
In 2-on-3, Rawls all the way and right over the top of Glenn. You are right about the quality press break. And 18 now for J.D. Rawls. Averages 16 a game, has already eclipsed that. We got 17:45 to play. 61-44 Alma in the lead here at home, looking for their first home win of the year. Landon Moore-Pierce slings it cross-court sidearm, sets up a diamond three. That's off to the left. Riley the rebound. Moore-Pierce, a quick look at his toes. Finally comes up short on a try. Missing from three. Bridgeforth the rebound. So it'll be 8 for 9 now. As Rawls trailing the play gets an open three-point look. That won't go. Walker wrestles that rebound.
Looking to push.
3-on-2 for Alma. Walker all the way. Up over the top and no good but a foul. Clayson did what he could to defend. And then Walker will head to the line.
Great move from Walker there. Just caught Klassen out of position. It looked very awkward going up for that block. Didn't really have a good grasp on Walker, but again, that's just the offensive presence of Walker there.
Walker from the line as the gym suddenly goes totally silent. Really hasn't done that all night.
That's
Walker
the quietest it has been all night.
I didn't want to say anything.
I didn't either. Here
Quiet
goes
once again. Actually hear a shh from someone over to my left.
You can hear crickets here in this gym.
And Walker second, no problem. Give him 11, make it 62-44. Alma by 18. Running the baseline. Clayson gets it in to Fisher. Gets it back down, ripped away by Riley. Punches it up the court into the arms of Glenn. Glenn
Open
back.
look.
Walker didn't want the open three. Takes 2 steps to his left. Now fires and hits.
The patience from Walker. He had an open look there. He saw the defender coming to his left. Little pump fake. Rhythm dribble, and he knocks it down.
65-44. Scots now by 21 as Walker applies the defensive pressure near half court. Fisher drives in, tries a little floater from the lane. Floated it too far. Riley gets the rebound, falls hard, traveled with it as he landed.
That was a strong move from Riley. He just ripped that rebound right out of the hands.
Grace Christian sends Clayton Roberts in out of Kentwood. First time we've seen him tonight. Graduate of the Great Lakes Cyber Academy, played in a homeschool hoops league in high school.
Good pass.
And a nice feed down low.
Great
That's
pass.
Carlson who's back in there, coming on the back door on the left side for his first two of the night. 65-46, back to a 19-point Alma lead. Moore Pierce tries to sling it along the baseline. That's tipped up high by Powell and stolen. Now ahead to York, and he lays it up and in underneath Riley. First points of the game for Zach York from Millington. Played against Alma High School back in the day. Now makes a trip to Alma to play against the college. Glenda Meister takes to Riley, who takes a look underneath. 23, not 25. Off to Moore Pierce, one-on-one against Frazier. Dribbles to his left, jump stop at the second hash mark. Leans, tried to scoop it underneath and stolen away. That's the second time that Powell's gotten his hands on a Moore Pierce pass. 2-on-2 the other direction. Frazier drives, fires it across the back of the rim and is fouled along the right side baseline. Peyton Bush will get called for that one. That'll be his third.
On the other end, on that offensive possession, Moore Pierce, I think he just tried to do a little too much on that play. Tried to take one-on-one. You got to get the ball moving, get guys open. One-on-one matchups with a great defender like Frazier, most of the time they're not going to work out in your favor.
Frazier hits the first free throw. That gives him 5. Frazier had a 10-assist game in that offensive explosion against Appalachian Bible College. One of 2 games this year where the Tigers have crossed the 100-point mark. Actually, they've crossed the 110-point mark. 110 and 112, averaging 86 a game, but allowing 89. They've given up some big ones as well.
And you're seeing it here, Alma with 65 points with just under 16 minutes left in the second half.
Lead is back down to 15 for Alma, though. It was 21. As Casey Constant brings it up after Frazier hit both free throws. Bush, a 3-point try with York's hand in his face. York shakes his head to say, what am I supposed to do about that? What a hit from Peyton Bush to make it 68-50. Down in, York doesn't want the try along the baseline, feeds it out to Carlson for 3, short on that. Rebound underneath, blocked away on Roberts' try, but a foul call on Glenn.
Glenn animated about that call.
This will be Roberts' first trip to the foul line this year. Held scoreless in his last 3 games in limited minutes. And on the board here tonight as he makes the first. Good rebounder in those limited minutes. He's averaging about 2.5 rebounds per game.
The 6'5" frame, the sophomore from Kentwood.
Second one spins out. Bush gets that rebound. Alma by 17 with 15:15 to play in the second half. Gabe Bordeaux, a little underhand scoop to Moore Pierce. Back out top to Bush. Steps to his left, drops it underneath on the give and go. Scooped up by Glenn, who feeds it back out to Bordeaux. Scotts will reset this one. Still 11 on the shot clock. Constant 3 from the corner. Good! First bucket of the night for Casey Constant.
That was yet another 3-pointer.
And there's the pressure that the Scots knock it off of Frazier. They didn't. They knock it loose, but last touched either by Bush or Moore Pierce. So this will stay good. Grace Christian, but Alma continuing to wreak havoc with their defensive pressure. 15 Grace Christian turnovers now. 13 of those came in the first half.
And this full court press it's been different today than we've seen early on in the year. Just a lot more pressure.
Well, sure.
A lot more turnovers.
Yeah, well, and part of that is just a testimony to the talent that Elmhurst had to be able to break it as Frazier connects from long range with his first triple of the night. Give him 9 off the bench. A nice game for the young man from Wyoming. 71-54. But anyway, just getting awfully hard to press a top 25 team all night.
It really is.
You're going to get burned sooner or later. Out to Bordeaux. At the Alma, bounce pass underneath. Bush goes underneath the rim and reverses it up and in.
Beautiful athletic play from Peyton Bush. The up and under. Beautiful move.
73-54. Grace Christian breaks the press, fires a pass over to Powell in the corner, back to Carlson for 3, short off the front of the rim. Bush soars through and gets that one. We talked about Peyton Bush's rebounding numbers this year. Nice grab on that one for his 6th of the night. Xavier Glenn hands it back out to Bush. Signals for a little bit of help, then pushes it over to his right to Walker. Walker got the arm up, but was fouled by Frazier, and that's apparently why the arm was up. Melvin Frazier riding along. 5th Grace Christian foul of the second half. It was Alma who picked up the whistles in the first half. Bordeaux to trigger it in along the sideline. Alma by 19, 73-54. Constant, nice little jab step fake into the lane. Runner, good. 5 here for Casey Constant.
That was a quick first step, and there's a beautiful
steal by Bush in the press. Misses the layup, rebound Bordeaux, and the first 2-point try for Bordeaux this year is good. Whole Scots bench on their feet, and then a travel. The Scots force another turnover, turning up the heat.
The pressure on this side of the court has just been phenomenal.
Timeout called by Grace Christian. We'll pause. Alma leads by 23, 77-54. (77-54), Alma stretching its lead out here in the second half and turning up the heat defensively, continuing to dominate the turnover battle. 17 turnovers now from Grace Christian against this Alma intensity.
And that last possession was just unbelievable by the Scots. I mean, just the ball pressure and forcing the 2 turnovers.
Hayden Judson back in out of Three Rivers for Alma. Dishes it off to Walker. Now Bordeaux wants a 3 long off the back of off the backboard. That time rebound Walker scoops a backup or a putback try, no good. And a wild scramble for the next rebound and a foul going against Alma on that one.
It's like an over the back on Bordeaux.
You are correct. 3rd Alma team foul of the second half. They lead at 77-54. Looking to level their record on the season. Long home run ball pass caught in transition by Frazier. Lays it up and in. Nice work there. And it's 11 off the bench for Melvin Frazier. Averages only 4.5 a game. He's had a nice one here tonight.
That passed like a quarterback to his wide receiver over the shoulder catch.
See if Carter St. John's down there underneath us. Might ask the receiving coaches to throw a recruiting letter in the mail. A travel called against Bush. And Alma commits their 10th turnover of the night.
Wasn't so sure about that call, but I guess Bush just didn't establish a pivot foot.
And we'll see if they can return the favor by cranking the pressure up once again. Quick pass across to Powell, clears it. Out to Roberts, and over to Frazier. Left side, Carlson. Bounces it down inside. Scoop back out, Carlson, 3 from the corner. Finds it.
Carlson with a couple 3s here in this half.
5 by Carlson. We mentioned he's had 2 huge games this year with 19 and 33. And he hits his first long-range connection, give him 5 on the night. 77-59, Scots go inside, now back out to Bordeaux. Now he drives, kicks it back out. Once again, scooped over to Walker off the left wing. Over onto the right side, a little volleyball push pass. Back to Bush, and sets him up for a 3. Bump set, spike, and a 3.
Not your traditional skip pass, but that'll get the job done.
Guess so. 80-59, Alma back to a 21-point lead. York in the front court. Couple of left-hand dribbles. Now up top, Carlson goes right side. York bounce down low. And right back out to York in the corner. Leaves it to Carlson. York once again. Dribbles in, scoops it underhanded. to Roberts. Leans, pushes it towards the basket, and that'll be enough to get him to the line.
Looks like they're going to get Walker on that call.
Will be the third on Tyshawn Walker. Clayton Roberts to the line. Split a pair earlier.
Haven't seen Moore Pierce here much in the second half as he's at the scorer's table checking in, but.
Well, I mean, he's only 8 for 9. Now he's cooled off. If you're just joining us, Landon Moore Pierce shot 7 for 7 from the floor, set a new career high in the first half, and then made his first bucket here in the second half as well. So it's a 22-point night. Finally a miss to put him at 8 for 9 overall. Roberts at the line, connects.
Melvin Frazier for Grace Christian now in double figures. So that's 5 players for both teams. And Bush and Meister with 8 for the Scots as well. So look for them to get into the double digits.
2 on the night for Roberts after he split that pair, missed the first while we were chatting about Moore Pierce. 80-60. Alma with the 20-point edge with a little over 11 minutes to go in this one. Riley drives in, throws it back out. Young, 3-point try, no. And a high bounce off the iron, and Carlson pulls that one down. Carlson only 5'8", shortest player on the floor. Gets it ahead, now takes a feed back, triggers a 3. Wow. He's hit 1, now he's hit 2. 8 points all in the second half for Eli Carlson. And then Moore Pierce back running the point for Alma.
Oh!
Off to Judson, and a beautiful off the dribble move.
He just beat him straight off the dribble.
Another home run ball pass, this time caught by Carlson. Feeds it back out. Frazier, a little close-footed 3. And that one no good. Judson gets the board. Alma throws over the top before Grace Christian can set up defensively. Young from an awkward angle misses off the right side. Rebound by New. And back the other way. 82-63. Alma by 19. 10-13 to play in this one. Over onto the right side, 3-point look. New can't get it to go off the front of the rim. And Diamond soars to grab that rebound. Off to Moore Pierce. Handed back to him. And he wants a long 3.
Oh, my
How about
goodness.
another one? 25 for Moore Pierce. A night reminiscent of what Cole Cliver would do when the bucket just looked like a giant swimming pool to throw it into. Carlson tries to answer at the Grace Christian end. No rebound, tipped out long, and it goes to Diamond, who gets it ahead to Moore Pierce, and a layup is good. Make it 27.
He's 10 for 11 from the field. You want to talk efficiency? Look at Landon Moore Pierce tonight.
Grace Christian now trailing by 24 at 87-63, 9:20 to go. Moore Pierce reaches around and hits the foul that he won't like too
third?
much. It is. Meister returns.
So we got timeout.
See Evan Neff in. We do have a timeout on the floor. We'll pause while they take that. 87-63 Alma.
There's always enough time to play it.
And the Venga Bus playing as the Spirit Squad leads the Scots fans in a mid-game celebration as they've stretched their lead out to 24 at 87-63. Landon Pierce finds the fire again. 10 of 11 from the floor, 7 of 8 from 3, 27 points, 4 boards, 3 assists. What a night for the junior out of Flushing.
I mean, a young man he's a quality man off the bench last year, and now inputted into the starting rotation, and he's made his presence felt tonight, to say the least.
Winner of a Rotary Scholarship back home, as we said, high school in Flushing, part of Alma College's well-known nursing program. He did go to the bench during that timeout after picking up the foul. We see Evan Neff into the game for the first time tonight for the Scots. Grace Christian ball, they'll feed it into the corner. 3-point try, no good. Knocked around and rebounded by Riley. A bit of chaos there down underneath the bucket. And Alma will have a chance to try to extend this lead even further. Alma won the junior varsity game earlier, 90-83. Looking to make it 2 for 2 and level their varsity record at 3-3 on the season. Moore Pierce, who actually is back in there. I lost track of that, but he's still in the game. Dribbles in, slings a sidearm pass over to Riley, out to Diamond, down low, extra pass across Meister, double clutch try, in and out with 3 on the shot clock.
That ball was halfway down.
That was a defier of gravity, and meanwhile, lost at the other end is Eli Carlson, who turns that into an easy 2 after releasing as soon as Grace Christian had the ball. Neff drove in, but forgot to take the ball with him, runs back and grabs it. Off to Moore Pierce.
Oh my goodness.
Looking like the 3-point contest, a nonchalant 3 that time, 8 of 9 from long range and a 30-point night. Baseline, Carlson kicks it back out. York over to Frazier, drives, fouled on the floor. This will go against Neff.
A little too much hand use there from Neff. That's enough to get a call.
Neff, an all-stater in high school out of Kingston. Scored 1,358 high school points, which will oftentimes get you that all-state recognition. 90-65, Alma, 8:10 to play. Grace Christian with the ball. Place him back in there. And he gets it after feeding it into the corner as they swing it around. Off to Braden McDonald. Inside, New tries to hand it off and lost the pivot foot, dragged that toe just enough, and another turnover for the Tigers.
And again, the defensive presence of Colton Meister. We've talked about it all game.
18 Grace Christian turnovers, 10 for Alma. Alma continuing to move the ball very well with 16 assists. Grace Christian as well with 15 themselves. Alma, though, leading where it counts on the scoreboard at 90-65. Meister driving in, tucks the ball under his shoulder, lays it up, misses, gets his own rebound though. As New just trying to keep up, ran right by, and that made for an easy putback for Meister to put him in double figures tonight. 92-65, Scots by 27. Carlson from the corner, Diamond clips him hard on the way by, trying to close out late, and a big piece of the right arm, and that will send Carlson to the line for 3.
I think he sold that call just a little bit, kicking that right leg out. We've seen that many times, and
that's one of the ones that you can sell.
Yep.
And pretty good contact from Diamond, who will come over and ask for a quick explanation. First of 3, no good for Carlson. 10 points on the night. Dual sport athlete at Grace Christian, also on the golf team. Well, a combination that you see every day. A good golfer as well, and finds that one a way to go in. It looks like some of Jeff's putts.
That hit every part of that rim.
Use the whole hole. 11 now for Carlson. 8 points. Oh, go ahead.
It gets loud in here for these free throws.
It does. 1 for 3 at the line, but now Carlson going to try to go for a reverse 4-point play after an offensive rebound from New and a kick out, but he misses on a 3. Scots come away with this one, still leading by 26. Moore Pierce. Oh my God. NBA range, just strolling up, and now he's got 33.
Tough, he's got 9 3-pointers in this game.
Cliver's high in his career was 36, which is the highest number we've seen in quite some time, and Moore Pierce is going to threaten that tonight. No good at the Grace Christian end. Ahead, and Moore Pierce going to look for an assist instead. Feeds it down underneath, and the beautiful reverse. Good from Meister, who's got 12.
This is just beautiful offense from the Scots tonight. Every aspect is just hitting tonight. Down low, outside.
The lead now 31 as Frazier drives in. Meister alters that. Walker gets the rebound. Moore Pierce will jog it up. If I'm Melvin Frazier, you better get ready defensively. A little double team out high. Moore Pierce from 30 feet.
Oh,
not quite.
That was an ultimate heat check if I've ever seen one.
That's one that you're only allowed to take when you're up by 31, but when you're up by 31, by all means, fire it.
Hey, if you have 33 points and you're up 31, you can take that shot.
Yep. Comes up short on that one. Grace Christian the other direction. Clayson from the free throw line, no good. Moore Pierce will pull down a rebound to add to his stats tonight. Being held on his way up the floor. Now contact, still no call. Feeds it over. Walker wants a three, short on that. Meister with a hand on his jersey, can't get that rebound either. And racing back the other direction is Frazier for Grace Christian. Makes a nice layup despite some contact from Walker. And now ahead, Meister.
Oh! Two-hand hammer, Meister. Throw her down.
Look out, Meister with 14. Now a nice and one possibility for McDonald.
An answer. Silence the crowd for now.
Now both teams running up and down the floor, but definitely the offense is ahead of the defenses in both directions.
This has been a very up-paced game so far.
Moore Pierce with a high five. That might be the end of his night with 5:40 to play. 99-70. Scott's looking to hit that triple-digit mark, which they have done a few times in recent years. Free throw, no good on the possible and one for McDonald, and then a foul contesting the rebound called against New, which will be his fourth. And that, I believe, nope, they already got it posted. That is the sixth team foul.
That's great work down low from Baker, though. Obviously, there was a big height difference there, but using a box out, using the body to keep his defender out, and just drawing a foul over the back.
Cleveland Baker into the game. Native of Toppinabee, Michigan, over on the west side of Mullet Lake. Inside, Connor Riley, little lefty hook shot, gets the favorable roll. 13 for Riley, and the Scots into triple digits at 101.
That's a very tough shot from Riley there with the offhand. The left hand, just a little baby hook. Beautiful shot, made it look easy.
Good point. No good from Omari. Scots want to run again. Get it up to Neff. Steps back, now to Walker. Drives down the left side of the lane, double teamed, hit hard, but they say all ball on that. And credit to New, who stayed behind to help Walker up behind that play. That's pretty impressive sportsmanship right there. A miss at the Grace Christian end. Offensive rebound. Omari tries from just inside the three-point line, rattles it off the rim, the backboard, the rim again, and it won't go. But like I said, after that hard hit on Walker, called a clean block, he fell against the stanchion. New stayed behind in transition to help him up, rather than racing back and giving his team numbers. Baker, deep three, too long on that one. 4:25 to play, 101-70 Scots. Baker to Carlson, over into the corner to McDonald. Now New slings it back out in Carlson's direction. Over to Omari, drives underneath, blocked by Glenn, but fouled in the process. And Keys Omari out of Germantown, Maryland. Transfer from Mount St. Mary's, heads to the line for a couple.
You mentioned during the halftime report the football team being here. They are getting right involved in this game. They're loud.
They're doing their best Cameron Crazy's interpretation. They got some plans here, some outbursts at times. This is a coordinated cheering effort. And Omari misses from the line. I don't know if they're handing out any paperwork like the Crazies or the Izzone do. You've got to study if you're going to be part of those student sections.
They do that before the game.
Second one good from Omari. Three-point night for him. 101-71. Scots by 30. Ryan Gaynor, who's checked in for Alma, brings it up, leaves it for Glenn. Now to Baker. Baker wants another deep three.
Oh, there it is.
Money. Cleveland Baker. New season high for him as he hits that three-pointer. 104-71. Final 4 minutes here at the Art Smith Arena. Alma going to level up their season at 3-3. And placing over to Omari. Drives baseline. Inside, up, under, spinning it home. Nice move by Keys Omari.
That is a tough move. Driving baseline, going up and under.
Excellent body control, three-point look.
Oh,
and Young's got one for Alma.
Goodness.
We told you in the pregame that Alma wanted to work on the three-point shooting. House 20 for 40 sound.
Looks like they did.
Inside, Omari fouled by Young. 20 for 40. Alma overall from the floor, 40 of 73. It's one thing to shoot 55% from the floor, but to do it on that kind of shot volume, Kyler, that's what's amazing.
It has just been unbelievable to watch. And On the flip side, let's look at the Grace Christian numbers. At the half, their three-point percentage was around 48 or 49, and they're down to 37%.
Yep, Alma has stepped things up defensively. Omari from the line hits both. Quietly a 7-point night, doing almost all of that work at the stripe for Keys Omari. Young going to try another one. Airballs that short, saved by Baker and tipped out of bounds back to Alma.
That's a great play from Baker right there, catching it off the bounce and throwing it off of Grace Christian.
It's where you sit under the basket and you don't know whether it's going to clip the rim and bounce away or miss where you've got to be right underneath. He made the right guess, and the Scots are able to continue the possession. Inside Glenn, awkward angle, uses the window beautifully.
Pure strength and athleticism from Xavier Glenn. The combination gets him that bucket.
6'6" junior out of Macomb, Dakota, his first points of the night, and a miscommunication, and the ball thrown away out of bounds. Omari and McDonald just not on the same page there. Last 3 minutes, 109-75. I do not know what the biggest number in Scott's recent history is, but we'll try to check that if we get a stoppage. 3-point look, no good from Baker. Rebounded, and McDonald heads the other way for Grace Christian. Coast to coast, lays it in. Took its time to think about it, but good. And that makes it 109-77. Alma played a game here against Olivet in 2017 where they threw in three-pointers from all over the gym, similar to tonight. Young this time no good along the baseline as we approach the final 2 minutes. Bounce pass down low to Roberts. Student section comprised much of the football team continuing to hoot and holler, and a reach-in called against Gaynor as he got hung up trying to come across for a steal.
Well, they're causing a ruckus down here to our left. Full stands just packed with the football players.
Just great to see. Obviously, they wish they were still playing this week, but what a group they've been. And they show up at other teams' sports. That's why they are so popular. Just embodying what Division III athletics is all about. From the line, first free throw up and good for Carson Whipple, who's into the game.
Here comes a football player and a teammate of these fellas. They're going crazy. Gage Kruger coming into the game.
Out of Grand Rapids. That's a pretty quick transition to find yourself on the basketball roster already. He's in. Ryan Young in. Josh Elliott out of Freeland checks in as well. Free throw shot no good, tipped loose. Whipple now gets it back on a feed down underneath. And so the reverse three-point play there in the final couple of minutes. Down the lane, a try, no good. Oh, the students were ready for Kruger on that one. Young gets the rebound, feeds it back out. Three-point look, no good from Elliott. And this rebound tapped out of bounds. And last touched by Alma back to Grace Christian. 109-80 with 1:38 to play. Omari will bring it up. And dribbles to his right all the way to the bucket. Switches to the left hand. Layup won't go. Elliott pulls the rebound down for Alma. And an outlet there to Ty Griffin. Griffin cross-court pass. A little shake and bake and a little too much there from Thomas Alfano, and a travel from the Shepherd product. Native of Breckenridge, technically, but went to high school in Shepherd. All right, here's your chance. It happened in 1987-88, that season against Madonna. The high Alma score of all time is how many points? What's your guess? We're not there yet, I'll tell you that much.
I'm going to guess 42.
Oh, so not individual, but team score.
Oh, team score. Okay, team score. Let's go 121.
132.
Yeah, it was a little bit off.
And 48 by Bud Acton is the high individual score against Albion back in 1964 as Griffin comes up short at the Alma end. Final minute here now. Omari layup won't go. Roberts put back good for Grace Christian.
Doesn't look like we're going to get to that
not going to hit 132, but 109 ain't bad. Alfano for Alma spins away from Omari to Griffin in the corner. Alma, of course, will slow this down now with the substantial lead of 27 in the final minute. Rifled down underneath. Elliott spins and fires and connects. Josh Elliott with his first two. Of course, he was a dream crusher in the town of Alma last year, taking
Yes,
his
he was.
Freeland Falcons, taking Alma out in overtime in regional play. Team went all the way to the semifinals. Final 15 seconds here, almost a steal from Kruger. York dribbles down, bounces it across the lane. Roberts baby hook, that'll go with 8 seconds left. And that will do it scoring-wise. 111-84 as the Scots just dribble out the final seconds. What a night for Alma. Coach Mike Fitzpatrick gets his first home win, levels the season at 3-3, and does it with an offensive explosion. We will take a pause, play a couple of commercials, and come back with a post-game show live from the Art Smith Arena right after this.